Hello, and welcome to our tutorial about operating Microsoft Lync. We are the 2014 FEMA Corps training team stationed in Region 7. In this video, we will cover launching Lync, connecting hardware, program layout, using the 3 modes of communication, as well as utilizing additional functions. Lync is a program that offers a multitude of possibilities such as instant messaging, audio and video calls, group meetings, and sharing capabilities. An easy way to think of Lync is a way to communicate electronically, whether that is through text conversations, voice chat, or video. In order to get the conversation, first you have to know the basics. At any point in time, if you are having hardware or connection issues, stop the video and contact the ESD help desk at 1-888-457-3362. The first step is to make sure that Lync is installed. You can find Lync software either on your desktop or simply click on the Start button right here in the left-hand corner and search it in the search bar. Also, it is displayed as a shortcut on the bottom of your screen near the clock, and the symbol will look like 2 arrows making a complete oval. If you see that you do not have Lync installed, then you should stop the video now and contact IT in order to get it installed. Now, we'll double-click to open Lync, and this is what you should see. So we are going to go over a few things before we really get started. Check and see if your computer has a camera. If not, you can contact your supervisor and try to get your hands on one. Once you have the camera plugged into the USB port, look along the sides of the computer where there should be a mic and a headphone port. Make sure that you match up the symbols correctly and to avoid plugging the mic where the headphones should go or vice versa. Now I'll point out what's on your screen and what each icon can do. Move your cursor all the way to the left-hand corner. Above your name is a little speech bubble where you can type in a status for other contacts to see. This box to the left of your name displays your availability. Currently mine is green. Let's change it to Do Not Disturb so I can finish this video with no interruptions. We do this by clicking Availability, which is right under your name. Then you will have all of these options. You can pick any of them for the fitting circumstance. If you don't want any calls or notifications, you can change it to Do Not Disturb. But let's say you're going to lunch and you would like to change your availability. You could change it to Away or Be Right Back. We will go into more detail about statuses in the next chapter. Below the availability, you see the phrase Set Your Location. That will tell your contacts where you are located, and that can be turned off or on as well as customized. We will keep moving down. Underneath the location is an outline of a blue person. Here you can view all your contacts. Each tab will display them in a different order. I'm currently under availability, so they are listed by their availability. If you want to add a contact to chat with someone that isn't already in your contacts, go to the white search bar and type in their name of the person. First the last name, then the first name will make it easiest to find the person that you are looking for. Once the name pops up, you can right-click and there's all of these options. Select Add as Contact, then you'll have all the options to add them to a group or to all contacts. Unlike Microsoft Outlook, contacts are not added automatically. Therefore, if you want a contact saved, you'll have to do that manually.
Now that we've covered contacts, it would be beneficial to see what kinds of information we can tell Lync about them and what kinds of information Lync can tell us about them. As you can see, I've maximized my window so that you can see everything a little bit clearer. First off, we can organize contacts into groups. These contact groups can be useful not only to organize people, but you can create a conference call including everyone in the group with one click. In order to push your contacts into a group, you'll need to create one. To create a contact group, right-click on one of your existing groups. To begin with, you'll have 2, Frequent Contacts and Other Contacts. You can see these displayed as drop-down menus in the lower box on the home screen. When you right-click on one, it should open a menu with a bunch of options. Second from the bottom, there should be an option titled Create New Group. There's a little symbol next to it that looks like 2 people with a sun in front of them. A shortcut for this option is also the letter N, so you can hit the N key instead of clicking on the option when the menu is up. You can tell that this is the shortcut because the letter N is underlined. You can title the group whatever you want, and once you click away from it, the group will be made. You can rename it at any time by right-clicking on it and selecting Rename Group. You can drag and drop existing contacts into various groups to organize them, or you can select what group you want a new contact to be added to. You can also put one person in more than one group by right-clicking on their name, copying them, and pasting them to whatever group you desire. Additionally, you can tell Lync what your relationship with the person is. If you go to the Relationships tab, you can see the various choices. They are Friends and Family, Work Group, Colleagues, External Contacts, and Blocked Contacts. The relationship you designate with someone affects what information they can see about you. For example, blocked contacts can see only minimal information and cannot call you via Lync. You can hover over the name of the group to see more details about how privacy is controlled through relationships. This is all information that you tell Lync, but Lync can also give you information about these people. A little box next to each person's name tells you their status. Lync will usually handle the status for you, but you can always manually set it. These statuses are mostly courteous and informative, with the exception of Do Not Disturb, which directly affects who is able to contact you. A green box means that you are active. This means that you are logged in and available to contact. A yellow box means that you are inactive, but may be available again soon. Lync will set your status to inactive after a period of time when your computer has been idle. You can change this time from the settings menu. You can also set it to be right back if you step away from your desk for a short while, or off work if you want to remain connected while you are away. A red box means that you are busy. Lync will change your status if you have an appointment in your Outlook calendar, or if you are in an active call. You can set your status to this if you do not want to be interrupted, but Do Not Disturb may be a better option. Do Not Disturb is symbolized by a dark red box with a white line across it. No one can contact you through Lync while this is your status, with the exception of people in the Work Group contact group. The three symbols above the lower window change what is displayed in the window. The one on the left will display your contacts and contact groups. The one in the middle is your activity feed, and it will show you any relevant activity by your contacts. The one on the right is Conversations, and it will show you any conversations you have saved or recently missed.
Earlier in this tutorial, we briefly mentioned that the main function of Microsoft Lync is to hold conversations over the internet in up to 3 methods. The 3 levels begin with text-based conversations as the most basic, following with the ability to enable audio as well as video. We present these as layers as they build upon one another. Text chat will always be available even when video chat or voice chat is on. In a sense, they build upon one another. To start a text-based conversation with someone, double-click on his or her contact card under your contact list. Although this process is being presented progressively, at any time you can skip to whichever mode of conversation you'd like by right-clicking on the contact's name and selecting Send an Instant Message, Call, or Start a Video Call. As long as you are using the government-issued version of this software, every chat window should open up to this message as seen on this screen. The majority of the window will display the conversation. Clicking the text icon there at the lower right will give you text options, such as fonts and colors. Located next to the font options is the emoticons button. Emoticons are small images often found in text messaging software for those moments when you just can't express how you feel into words and need to use an emoticon instead. As more and more text is entered, it will begin to fill up more space of the window. The newest message will always appear at the bottom. Each message will display by whom and at what time it was sent. If the dialogue continues for long enough, the window will create a scroll bar, allowing the user to scroll through the entire conversation and view older messages. Note that all text-based conversations will be cataloged into your Microsoft Outlook account, which we will talk about more in depth later on in this video. The next level, voice chat, is used to start a call. Making calls in Lync is very similar to making a call on a phone. It can be accessed along the toolbar at the top of the window, or alternatively, will pop up upon hovering your cursor over a contact card. Once the call button is selected, it will begin to call, sending a ring to the recipient of the call. The recipient will have the option to accept or reject the invitation to voice chat. This function differs from traditional phone calls as it will ring until the recipient accepts or rejects the invitation. Should the person be away from his or her desk, it might be a nuisance to let Lync ring for an extended period of time, so please be modest when waiting for someone to respond to a voice chat. At this point, you can begin speaking through your enabled or installed audio hardware. Once the call commences, this bar will appear, providing options specific to the voice chat. It will track the length of the call with a timer, provide the option to put the call on hold, mute the microphone, adjust speaker volume, and display the dial pad. The dial pad is something not necessarily relevant to this training, so we won't be covering its functionality within this video. Should you need to host a conference call, for example, it is possible to add additional contacts to join the active call by clicking the People Options button here. You can invite people from your contact list or invite people via email. Lync will automatically send a message from Outlook providing a hyperlink to join the active chat. Just like adding voice chat, Lync gives the option to begin a video at any point in a conversation by selecting the video button here. It will send the recipient an invitation to enable his or her video while automatically turning yours on. The installed video hardware will be enabled to display a visual of whatever image it picks up. For the purpose of this video, we do not have our camera enabled. However, it can be turned on by the Start My Video button found here. On a video, the three active video buttons are Pop Out Video, which allows you to freely reposition the video screen, while clicking Pop In Video here will return it to its previous state. The next button we have is View Full Screen, which can be exited by pressing the Escape key. Finally, we have the X button to completely end the video. Keep in mind that whichever level of conversation you choose does not have to be mutual. For example, if the recipient is having trouble enabling his or her webcam, you can begin your own video while the recipient simply listens in or watches while still being able to respond through text chat. Selecting End Call here will disable all video and voice chat, but will not end the text-based conversation. Exiting out of this window will end the entire conversation. On occasion, one may encounter technical difficulties while calling or using video chat over Lync. A remedy to these situations may be to simply unplug the hardware and end the call, resetting the conversation. Plug in the hardware once more and begin the call again.
While in a contact window, you'll see the Share tab next to the different modes of communication. If you select Share, a drop-down box will appear. There are 7 different options, 5 of which we'll focus on today. The first sharing option is Desktop. Use this function to give the person you're having a conversation with the ability to see your screen as you see it. It's also important to note that in all these sharing functions, there is the ability to give attendees control of the screen. While in sharing mode at the top of the page, you'll see Give Control. This function allows the attendee the ability to control your computer. To enable this function, select Give Control. A drop-down box will appear to select the person's name you wish to give control to. When you no longer want this person to control your screen, go to the Give Control button and select Take Back Control, or select Stop Sharing. The second sharing option is Program. This essentially allows for the same function as when you share your desktop. When selecting Programs, there will be different options you may want to share. When you select that program, for example, Microsoft Outlook, your Outlook will pop up. Only the selected program will be visible to viewers, regardless of what the host opens on his or her screen. The third sharing option is PowerPoint Presentation. When selecting this option, PowerPoint will open and the attendees will be able to follow along with you as you give a PowerPoint presentation. The next option is to share a new whiteboard. When selecting this option, the attendees will be able to write on the whiteboard. Whoever starts the whiteboard will be the only one to have access to certain functions, such as the Clear Screen button. The final sharing option is New Poll. Once New Poll has been selected, this screen will pop up. The first thing you'll want to do is create a title. Next, enter the questions you want attendees to answer. Lastly, fill in the different possible answers. The poll will appear on your screen, and the attendees will then have the opportunity to answer the question. As they answer, you will see the number of participants that have selected each answer. Once the poll has been started, the different options are Open Poll, Close Poll, Reveal Poll Answers, Hide Poll Answers, Edit Poll Question, Edit Poll Answers, and Save Poll. Saving the poll will convert it to an image to view at a later time. For the next function, we'll keep the contact window open. To access the status change alert, begin by hovering over the contact's name. Next, right-click on the person's name and select the option titled Tag for Status Change Alerts. When this function is enabled, you will receive an alert notifying you that this person is now available when link is minimized. This function is useful if you have a contact that you speak with frequently and would like to be informed or alerted when he or she becomes available. To access conversation history, you must enter your Microsoft Outlook account. On the left-hand side, there is a folder titled Conversation History. Alternatively, you can access this folder by clicking the link at the bottom of a Conversation tab, which is titled View More in Outlook. From this folder, you can see all conversations you've had in Lync. You also have the option of how you'd like to organize your conversations. Selecting the button Newest on top will toggle the view order of conversations between chronological and reverse chronological order. Each conversation will contain specific details. For example, if during a conversation you share anything, such as a PowerPoint presentation, it will be noted in the conversation history. The conversation history will also log who was on the call, what time the call took place, and of course, what was said. This concludes our Lync tutorial. Once again, if you should encounter any technological difficulties with the program or your hardware, please feel free to contact the ESD Help Desk at 1-888-457-3362 or contact the IT line at your regional office. Also, at any time, you can visit the Microsoft website for Lync-specific support. Thank you for watching from the 2014 FEMA Corps Training Team.